If you are new to animation and you are thinking to start out in 3D animation, well, stay tuned, this video is for you. Hey guys, my name is Eon and welcome to my Start Animating YouTube channel. The channel that is specifically aimed at everyone that is new to animation, and if that is you, welcome, you are at the right place. So make sure you hit that subscribe button and also click on that little notification bell so that you can get notified every week when I upload a brand new video. And if you are new to animation or you want to start out and you don't know where to begin, you don't know what software to get, or you are scared that you're not going to have enough money to buy all the software you're going to need, well, I've got some great news. I compiled a list of free software. These aren't pirated copies. These are actually freeware. It's made available to the public for free. So I compiled this list, and it consists of all the software you as an animator are going to need, from 2D animation software, 3D animation software, script writing software, storyboarding, video editing, as well as audio recording and mixing software. So all the software that you're going to need to create awesome looking animation, a whole list of free software, so you don't have any excuse not to start animating. So in the description box below there's a link, click there and I will send that list to you. And while you're at it, why don't you go and join my free community? Just in the link, there's a link in the description as well. Just click there, go and sign up. I've got the my free plan is open, so you can go and join so long and be part of the community. There are future plans opening soon, like the community plan and also the mastermind, and so yeah, there's great stuff. But if you just want to start out and see what it's all about, go and join the free plan. It is absolutely free. That's why it's called the free plan. Now in today's video we're going to talk about 3D animation and how to get started, especially if you are new to animation and you want to become a 3D animator. You have no idea where to begin. This video is for you. Now in the past I did create a video, 2D animation versus 3D animation. I'll put it right up there. Go check it out. I think that will really help you, because I do suggest that you start out with 2D animation. There's a few reasons why I say that, and then from 2D animation you can always go over to 3D animation. So go check out that video. I think that will also really help you to get started. But let's say you have done 2D animation and you are now ready to go to 3D animation, or you just want to skip 2D animation completely. You just want to start with 3D animation. So where do you start? Well, obviously you're going to need software. So there's so many options available. So obviously you're going to look at your needs, what you want to do with your software, the type of animations you want to do. Especially you have real-time rendering, so it's not as demanding on your computer. You get like a real-time visualization of what your animation will look like, or you get other animation software where you need to render your final product, and that's going to cost you a lot of money. It takes a lot of time to render. So there's a lot of things you need to consider before you get a software as well. Then obviously 3D animation is very demanding on your computer. You need a decent graphics card. Otherwise you're going to struggle. You're going to get frustrated. You're going to feel like you're not getting the work done because your computer can't handle the software. And so 3D animation is very demanding on your computer. So that is something you also need to consider and keep in mind. Then there's a lot to learn. The learning curve when it comes to 3D animation is quite hectic. There's a lot of things you need to learn that you didn't learn in 2D animation. For instance, polygons, meshes, weight maps, textures. These are things that we don't talk about in 2D animation. So you'll need to learn what these things are and how they work and what their purposes are in order for you to be a successful 3D animator. So there's a lot of things that you're going to need to learn as well. Then one thing that I really struggled with going from 2D animation to 3D animation, maybe it's just me, maybe some of you watching never struggled with this, but I really struggled going from 2D to 3D because now your character is in a 3D world. So what happens is I would pose my character, it will look awesome, and then I will take my camera and I will maybe put it in a different angle, and then from that angle my pose looks crap. It doesn't look like I want it to. So you really need to look at your poses and your character and your scenes and everything from all angles. So you're literally in a 3D world. So that was for me something to get used to. I mean, with 2D animation, it's easy just to draw a hand gesture and there you go. But now in 3D animation, you need to pose that hand, and the hand might look awesome from that angle, but if you move it, maybe here, it will look completely different. So that was something I really needed to get used to, really to rotate my character in different angles when I pose a character. So that was something I really had to get used to when it comes to 3D animation, but maybe it's just me, maybe I'm the only one who struggled with this and you guys didn't. And then I mentioned software earlier. So what software is the best software to begin? I did create a video on this in the past, but I want to talk about two options now. One is Blender, because Blender is free. It's actually in that list that I've mentioned that I will email. It is free. So that is a great way to start without spending any money. And Blender is a great tool. You can really create great, awesome looking animations, professional looking animation with Blender. The problem I have with Blender, and again, maybe it's just me, but the learning curve with Blender is extremely difficult. Maybe it's just me. I've tried to follow along YouTube videos, and the problem that I found is that a lot of the things, like for instance your polygons and meshes, they don't explain what it is or the function or the purpose or how to use it, etc. They just accept you know what it is. So when you follow along, you kind of miss a lot of the lingo, what they are actually saying. You kind of miss it because you don't know the meaning of a lot of the things. For instance, nodes in Blender. I still don't really know how the node system work perfectly, because it's not really a YouTube channel that I found that explains it to you. They just say you just link this to there if you want this, but you don't really learn the user interface. And I think that is very important. So Blender, the learning curve is quite difficult. So I would suggest that if you want to use Blender, that you'll have to go and take some online courses. I think that will be the best way for you to learn Blender. That is, I've decided to do that. I want to learn Blender, but I'm going to take some online courses that will really cover everything, and take me from the beginning straight through and learn so that I can learn the interface, etc. So Blender is a great tool to start off with. It is free, but like I've mentioned, I would suggest you go and take online courses to learn the software and not rely on YouTube videos. I've tried that and I've given up. So you're really going to struggle. You're going to get a basic sense of how it works, but you're not going to learn the in-depth things you need to know with YouTube videos. So what I do suggest, and I've also created a video on this, is to start out with iClone. If you are new to iClone or new to 3D animation, iClone is for me a great tool to start off with. The reason for that is, first of all, the user interface is very neat, tidy, and easy to get to what you want to do. For instance, I've got a character here in front of me, so let's click on it. There it is. Now, I've mentioned earlier weight maps. So weight maps is basically you set a weight map on an object so that the software knows how that object needs to flow. Now, normally you will put that on your hair or clothing, like a long dress, a jacket, a scarf, rope, stuff like that. So you'll need to create weight maps on these things. So for instance, see how easy weight maps is in iClone. So I select my character. I select, for instance, I want to check the weight maps of her hair. I click on her hair. Here is physics, and I can select, especially if you have a long dress, there's some presets. You can just select on presets, and there you go. There's also hair. You can select what type of hair, wavy, etc. And it has some nice presets for you to start off with, or you can manually draw in your weight maps as well. So it is so easy to find. Texture maps. Again, if I click there, here is the texture maps for the hair. If I go to the here's for the jacket. So everything is so nicely designed. The user interface is very easy to work. So you will learn very easily. Let's click here, and again you can also go to you can edit your character as well. So if you want to, inside iClone, or even inside your, let's click on, I think the top. You can even morph animator, smooth mesh, so you can really you can smooth out your mesh. So everything is so easily accessible inside iClone. It is easy to find. So the learning curve inside iClone is much easier and much faster. You'll learn so much faster. And here's one thing that I really like about iClone. If you've never animated before, so you upload your character, you can go to content, you can go to motions. Let's click on motion here, and let's find cartoon motion, perform, and let's say emotion. You drag it on top of your character. Yes, and let's take this laugh. You just drag this on top of your character, and you press play. And look how easy that was to get my character to laugh. This is what I love about iClone. With the motions, you can really start animating from day one. You upload your character and you upload motions, and there you go. The learning curve is so much easier. So that's why I say I would prefer you start off with iClone and then learn the basics, start creating your own animations, and once you know about polygons, meshes, weight maps, and all of those things, when you go over to Blender, then you will have that basic knowledge and you will understand Blender so much easier. So then all you need to figure out with Blender is the interface, how the interface works, and then you'll be able to basically create your characters. Again, to create lights, you just click create light, select spotlight, directional light. Let's say create spotlight. Here we can click to add and move. And it is just so easy. If I want to change the color, I click there and I change the color of the light. As you can see, it is just so easy. The learning curve is easy. So if you want to start out in 3D animation, I highly recommend you start out with iClone, because you can actually, like I've shown you, start creating animations from day one. And that is the best way to learn, is to actually create animations. That is a great way to learn, but it's also the quickest way to improve, is to create an animation, look at it, see what you've done, where can you improve, and create another one. And that's how you get better, and that's how you'll improve. And once you are good in iClone, then you can move over to Blender and start creating, maybe, because with Blender you're going to need to render out your animations, and that will take long. But with iClone, it is real-time rendering. So what you see here is what you'll render out. So it will obviously not look as like a Pixar movie, but there is some plugins like the iRay plugin, and you will get really great results with the iRay. You will then have to export or render your animation, and it will also look quite awesome. So if you want to start out in 3D animation, this is what I highly suggest you do. You go and start off with iClone. Obviously, it will cost you money, but it is the best way to learn if this is something, if you are serious about taking up 3D animation. So guys, that is it for me. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments what you think. Are you using iClone? Are you using Blender? Are you using another software? Which one did you find easy to learn? Let us know in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. Remember to hit that subscribe button and also click on that little notification bell, and also click on that like button. It really helps the YouTube algorithms. That's the way you can support this channel. And again, invitation to you to go and join my free community. In the link, or in the description, there's a link. Go and sign up. It is absolutely free. I would love to have you there. So from me, Eon, I will see you guys next week with another video. From me, God bless and happy animating.